Hello YouTube, welcome back to Tentaculon's lair, welcome back to
Be careful.
the Sandswept Marsh.
On the use of corruption. Their lands may still be dangerous.
Welcome back to Rayclast and Path of Exile 2 and the adventures of Jeet Kun Donut.
Tale, Jingak. Return someday, and you might hear Risu tell it in my place.
Now, if it was up to me, I would be advising Grinding Gear Games to get their quest manager, their lore guy involved, or girl involved, because there's a few conflicts going on. Because once you've done the trial, you're no longer a Jingak. You are in fact a Dekara. Balbala tells you that after you've done your first trial. She actually says you are no longer a Jingak. And yet they still refer to you as a Jingak on the caravan, even though you also killed Jamanra. So I think that they should revisit that, and once you've done your first trial, they should refer to you as a Dekara. Or not refer to you as at least not refer to you as a Jingak. I love this area, man, I tell you. There are so many mobs in this area. The XP in this Sandswept Marsh is just insane.
This land is infested with ancient corruption.
He's right. He's not wrong. He's absolutely correct. Infested. Up to its testicles in ancient corruption. And bugs the size of a Ford Fiesta. How can you miss 3 times in a bloody row? See, this is what I was saying in the last episode. This can be so frustrating sometimes. Right in the middle of a bunch of mobs who are all smacking him in the head. And he's whoomph. Woomph, woomph, and I'm like, would you mind hitting something, please? Just anything, it doesn't matter, anything. Hit the floor. Hit a bell, hit the dead guy just over, just hit something. Now, I am terribly, terribly, terribly bad at this, but I keep getting reminded to ask if people would be so kind as to like and share and leave a comment and subscribe and all that business. That would be. I know people say it would help immensely, and believe me, it does. It hugely helps the channel, especially a tiny, tiny, weeny little channel like mine that's just started and has only got 10 subscribers. It would be absolutely amazing if you would do that. Thank you ever so much.
Wretch. This pen looks like trouble.
The mana eaters. I have a plain non-magic melee attack, just using my stick that I don't use, but at later levels you can get that up to like 20,000 DPS and beyond, and I'm wondering, you know, whether that using that, just like really tooling it up beyond belief, you know, getting up to about 25-30,000 DPS a hit,
You're mine!
because it's non-magical, it won't rely on mana. So, you know, for use against those mana-sucking vampire, you know, the mana vampire mobs, with the blue circles underneath them, it could be, you know, it could be something to use in those exigent circumstances. Because I'm not too proud to admit that I come across when I was playing my druid not so long ago actually. I was doing a stone, a remnant, and I had 2 of those mana, and they were leaving these mana sucking pools on the floor. And without mana, my druid might as well be a houseplant. Really, seriously. I mean, my druid is just completely bloody useless without any mana. So I ran away, and you know, and tried to nibble them off from a very, very big distance, and that's all I could do. It was embarrassing. You know, I couldn't hold my head up in the druid club or anything. I thought, you know, that's it. They're gonna kick me out of the druid club, and you know, this is me. I'm done. So, you know, I'm wondering with this one whether just a plain old physical melee slap on the head with a big twig is going to be, you know, might be worth it for those blue guys, because it won't matter if I've got mana then. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to test my theory. So many mobs. So many mobs. And this is an edited version, by the way. Because we've got quite a lot of work to do today. There's an awful lot of land to cover. obviously the Sandswept Marsh, and we're going to go up to the Ziggurat and do all that stuff. And yeah, there's an awful lot of stuff to do today, because I'm trying to do this in 2 chunks. Part 1 today, part 2 tomorrow. There we go, meeting the Zigguratians.
I recognize this place from my dreams.
What kind of stunt was that, traversing the marsh? Have to be smarter if you're to survive. As quartermaster, I'll do my best to keep you alive. I can buy what equipment you find, or sell you what others have unearthed before we ship it back to Kingsmarch. If you disappear in the jungle, I'll also be the one to note your death in our logs. You're welcome.
Cheerful.
Cynicism incarnate.
Hello there. I'm Alva Valai. Sorry about Oswald. He can be a
God.
bit rough with the newcomers. But he's really not a bad sort. In any case, we can always use another pair of hands around here. Welcome.
This character's
Something
fabulous.
tells me you're the exploring type. We've got that in common. But some places even I steer clear of. I rather enjoy being alive, you see. Still, if you're feeling adventurous, there's fortunes to be made out there in the wilds. I'm especially interested in all things related to the Val. For academic reasons, of course. But a bit of treasure never goes amiss. That hooded fellow over there, he's a friend of yours, I take it? Seems to be one of few words. Oh well, I'm not one to judge the company you choose to keep. Oswald's gonna lose his wits if any more of you show up, though. Oswald's a grim sort, isn't he? He's always injury this, death that. Personally, I've never been hurt while treasure hunting. I actually find it rather easy. He always makes sure we have the proper supplies and checks his list for everything 4 or 5 times before we make a move. He also invented what I call the Oswald technique. On the rare occasions he personally goes out with us, he throws a rock at absolutely everything before touching it. Every flagstone, every pillar, every statue. You'd be positively amazed at the elaborate traps he sets off, even in places I've walked through already. I've heard of the beast. Everyone has. If someone is truly trying to raise another, then they must be the grandest of fools. These very ruins around us are the result of an attempt to control such a thing. This is the only way it can end. So you're looking for a device the Val intended to use against the Cataclysm? Ah, so that's why you came here. Well, you're on the right trail. The ziggurat on which we stand was rumored to contain a device to save their people. If you want to explore it, you'll have to find a way to drain the city first. It's hard to guess what the device inside the temple might be. I do know that it was commissioned by Queen Etziri's thaumaturge, Doriani himself. The project was given all the resources it needed, and the work was kept secret, even from Etziri. As best I could translate, they claimed using it might mean abandoning all they had built. They seemed to view it as a last resort, a way to save their legacy if all else failed. It's not often I detect fear in Val writings, but they definitely hoped they would never have to use it. How do I even begin to describe the last Queen of the Val? She left a tremendous mark on history. She was intelligent, incapable enough to rule unquestioned over a bloodthirsty
total
empire
nutter.
of volatile nobles, and the people adored her and feared her in equal measure. Val writings speak of her as the most beautiful woman in the era, but also the most dangerous. She sought eternal life, and she was willing to sacrifice anything to achieve it. The ruins around you are the result of those ambitions. Sometimes while I'm looting a temple, I remember that everything we find once belonged to a living, breathing person that probably died horribly. That sort of takes the fun out of it, doesn't it? By their final days, the Val were a deeply tiered empire based on brutal competition. Those at the top vied with each other through any means necessary, and Doriani was the foremost among these ambitious and immoral men. He was second only to Queen Atziri herself. Utzal was the seat of his power, and ancient writings claim he undertook a vast array of strange projects and sordid experiments here. Some glyphs I have seen are too stomach-churning to discuss. This little excursion here represents my lifelong ambition. It's not just about finding treasure. I want to build an entire archaeological society someday. Rayclast has countless layers of history buried beneath it, and I aim to uncover every last bit. I
Good for
intend to
you.
call my group the Reliquarians. A bit ostentatious, but the best things should be. A shame I couldn't have founded it a few decades ago, back when my birthplace Oriath was still a thriving city. Thanks to the Templars, relics from a dozen different cultures found their way to that little island over the centuries, and are now all lost, thanks to the disasters that happened there.
Somewhere in this region there were sophisticated canals and waterways. We might be able to use them to drain this lake. We must hope that the mechanisms are still functioning, despite their age. It is the only way to reverse the drowning of this once thriving city. The first step in our search for the secret knowledge of the Val. It is strange to return to this place of my divine youth and see it so aged and forgotten. When I was here, the Val were the height of civilization, and the future was bright. They had their problems like any other people, but I thought I could free them from the moral hazards of divinity by removing gods from the equation. While we are here, I would like to discover whether this ruination is my fault, or whether something else happened to them.
Sounds like you helped remove morality from the equation.
You're the one who waded to the undead in the marsh, eh? Truly you need a guide. Luck's on your side today, friend. I am such a guide. Maybe I can help you survive. Not all tribes in this region are so friendly. You would be wise to listen to me on the dangers of the jungle. Yes, you are lucky indeed. Apus is my grandson. Can you believe that? A young spry thing like me. A grandmother. Don't be answering that. Apus inherited my son's rowdy spirit. Maybe it's a family curse. We have always been the type to do what we shouldn't. Like helping outsiders such as yourself. One day, he'll be a great man. Just like his father. Until then, I try to keep him safe.
These treasure hunters are a good bunch. Out here carving their own destiny. How relatable. They've given me tips on dealing with the mosquitoes as well. Not that it's working. Watch the mosquitoes, eh?
Yes? Ah, King's March. So called by the Kalgurans. They're newcomers to Rayclast. About 20 years now. They're traders by nature. In fact, they've partially funded this very expedition. For some reason, they're very interested in Val artifacts. We ship most of what we find back to King's March, and they pay handsomely for it. I log everything here, so I can catalogue the thousands of ways to die the jungle offers. If you can, be sure to write some sort of final entry detailing how you die. The death log won't benefit you, of course, but it will certainly benefit me. I don't mean to be overly fatalistic, but the amateurs coming from King's March are accomplishing nothing but feeding the chimerals. The most I can do, as quartermaster, is ensure they're equipped for exploration. That's where the real profit in treasure hunting is, you see. I don't go out there if I can help it. I'm the unluckiest man alive. Yet, I'm the wealthiest in this camp. You have to be good when you're trading with the Kalgurans, or they'll fleece you. The ziggurat beneath us was once the temple of the sun god, one of the oldest built in the city of Utsal's religious district. It was in active use for at least 1,000 years. But when the Val cataclysm struck, the city flooded, presumably killing everyone inside. Good thing for us, because this lake is the only reason it hasn't been ransacked by other treasure hunters already. One man's mass death is another man's treasure, I suppose.
Right. Let's have a wander around the jungle. See what kind of nonsense we can find.
There's a signature here.
They
Seek the source.
trees.
Pharaoh's found something. I'm just experimenting now with rend, right? Because apparently with rend, if you get your rend going properly, it gives you a 50% bonus to lightning damage, which is a sizable chunk, by the way. But the buff doesn't last very long. It's like 12 seconds or something. It says, shapeshift into a wyvern and perform a wide slash with your
Alva
wingtip
will know what to
claws.
do with this.
Consumes a power charge if possible to grant you a buff that gives you extra lightning damage. While you have this buff,
The Val
Rend
use
covers
this device to
a
operate the
much
mechanism
larger
from the
area
canal,
but is
but we
slower.
would need a
Buff
special
grants
artifact to power it.
50%
From
of
the
damage
translations
gained as
I've made,
lightning
I
and the
believe they
duration
were
is
called
10 seconds.
Soul cores. I've never seen an intact soul core large enough for something like this, though. I suppose if you want to try find one, you could ask our guide, Servi. Death gems, blood crystals, or, more colloquially, soul cores. They were made by sacrificing living people and capturing their energies inside a crystal lattice. Some think the victims are still trapped inside, existing in eternal agony until someone drains the core's energy completely. There's no way to know that for certain, of course, but it is rather chilling to think about. These waterways are a series of canals the Val built on the upper edge of the city. The Great Matlan River didn't run quite this far south, but they diverted a portion of it for a complex irrigation system. That really allowed the city to thrive and the Val to flourish. Oh, I don't fully understand why they created a system that could flood the entire city. From my understanding, it was a failsafe. A way to make sure their creations didn't get the better of them, or the world. The Val really were a very intelligent and pragmatic people, you know. At the southeast edge of the city, there is a large dam. I've spent months trying to find a way to release the outer spillways, but to no avail. Those very walls are what keep the city flooded to this day. Good luck.
Intelligent, pragmatic, and a bunch of bloody psychopaths. If you hear any intermittent cracks and pops and bumps and sort of loud noises in the audio, it's my audio interface is getting a bit old. I need a new one.
Another runestone. We're getting pretty good at this, aren't we? Keep up the search.
I've got a Native Instruments Complete Audio 6. In a different life, I used to be a studio engineer, and I built a studio in my house. And for my office, I've just got a Complete Audio 6 set up. It does what I need it to do, but it's getting a little bit old. I need I either need a new one, or I need something. I was looking at one of the SSL interfaces, One of the ones that's got an inbuilt SSL compressors and stuff. I'd love to have one with the Masselect switches. But I like having both my kidneys. And those things are expensive. Yeah, we've got a lot to do. We've got the jungle to do. We've got this little dungeon thing to do. Which is a whole deal in and of itself.
We live to see another day.
I must maintain a fine balance.
Thanks for the help. I'm no rookie, but the monsters have been in a frenzy lately. Haven't left my camp in days, and haven't heard from the others in weeks. If you're heading further into the jungle, would you check on Sebastian's camp in the infested barrens for me? It's on your way. The infested barrens are to the northeast. Hello there. Apes are one thing, but quadrillas? No, they're fearsome. The Val left these lands drowning in corruption after their cataclysm. Guess it twisted the creatures here into something unnatural. Still, I can't help but think 4 arms could come in handy, wouldn't you say? No pun intended. The monsters have always been tough out here, that's not new. What is new is how they're behaving. Used to be you'd only find trouble if you walked into a den or trampled a hive. You'd have to make a mistake to provoke an attack. Something's changed. Now, it's like they're hunting us. No way in the jungle is safe. Maybe we've overstayed our welcome. We've got 2 more camps close to the Val ruins we're exploring. We really only return to the encampment for supplies or more hands to hold treasure. Sebastian leads the camp in the infested barrens. He's been with this expedition longer than I have. He's one of the few veterans left. A newcomer, Yorick, leads the camp in the Chimeral wetlands. Oswald was hesitant, but Yorick was insistent. Hard to deny a volunteer with so few of us left. Yorick's no adventurer, but he must be an archaeologist or something. With how he goes on about Val architecture and history, it's hard to get him to stop. I worry for Yorick. The monsters are getting more dangerous, and some of the newcomers joining our expedition have been untrustworthy. Under ideal circumstances, all members of an expedition will be experienced and honourable adventurers.
Yeah, can you imagine
They'd
that?
work together so everyone could survive and get paid.
Dishonourable
Resist the
treasure
temptation
hunters.
to steal or lie or abandon their campmates. And they certainly wouldn't murder someone in the night and abscond with the documented and hard-earned valuables of the expedition. But it's not ideal circumstances. We've lost too many and need to hire whoever we can. Survivors, half-wits, and the occasional lunatic. That's our expedition in a nutshell. Used to be, we were seasoned veterans out here. These days, if a newcomer lasts more than a week, it's a cause for celebration. Still, with the Kalgurans throwing coin around, maybe your folks are willing to risk their lives for a shot of the spoils. Watch for snakes.
There's a signature here. Seek the source.
Darkness and decay.
It'd be interesting to see how the gloves, the endgame gloves, the Loctonial Caress, how they end up being under Stonefist, which is one of the martial arts, the martial artist perks, if you like. Whether you can do away with Rend, because if that's the case, then endgame is
Move. Too quickly now. Snakes, bugs, mad apes, and what else? No wonder the Val are all bloody well dead.
well, that's true, Pharaoh.
I wonder why the King of Kalgur has such an interest in Val artifacts?
Those who covet riches are not so easily satisfied. To them, amassing wealth is but a game.
Quite the extreme to go to for a hobby. I don't know. I get the idea it's likely something pretty odd. See what you can find.
Yeah. I've got some questions about this Kalguran bloke as well. But unfortunately, we won't get those answers until 0.6. Even if we get them then, it might not be till much later. I suspect there's a hell of a lot more to this story than we're being told. I think GGG are keeping secrets. Bless them. I think the dead bodies on the floor glow green because I can feed on them with rends, I think. Or devour or something. Oh, it's an abyss. I'm a big fan of the abysses, really am. I think they've done it so well. Don't get trapped in a corner now, you plank. Thank you. Present from Kurgal. Or could have been our mate Lurky. Sent me an Exy. That sapphire ring sells for about 4,000 Exys. Not bad for an afternoon's work. So if you have a look in the top left-hand corner of the screen, you see like a little glowing donut. And there's a number underneath. That's the amount of charges that you got. And you can use those charges for your lightning stuff, and for charging up, you can have a lightning buff on your staff. So a quarter staff. Yes. No, I tell you, I had a little message from YouTube the other day telling me I had a bunch of new subscribers. It was just amazing, I tell you. I know it sounds really sad and shit, but honestly, I started this channel as a way of being able to, some of you will know that I had a very bad accident a little while ago, and essentially had a lot of my face rebuilt, and I was not able to. I had my jaw broken and all that crap, and I started it really as a way of being able to speak on a regular basis, and being able to communicate and talk and really just, you know, as a way of speech therapy, self-therapy, self-help kind of therapy. And I'm facing now having to go back and having some more surgery. Something's gone wrong in my mouth, in my jaw, and so I'm gonna have to go back and have some more surgery done. And I'm on like mental painkillers for a lot of the problems I had following my accident, and really crazy painkillers, and the breakthrough pain from my jaw is crazy, absolutely crazy. So they want to take me in, and I've got to have at least one. So it's going to mean that I'm not going to be able to speak again for quite some time. So I'm not entirely certain what I'm going to do when I'm not going to be able to speak properly. I was thinking about doing a script and running an AI through, or getting my wife to do the VO. But it's going to be like for 2 or 3 weeks, so getting her to do, you know, voiceovers every day for 2 or 3 weeks. Especially when she's got my sorry ass to look after, and she's got the dog and everything. You know, it's too much for one person, so I can't ask her to do that either. So I don't know. I'm still thinking about what to do for it. The other possibility, of course, is to do like
Well done.
subtitles, that kind of
Still
thing.
picking up one more in the region. Keep going.
But yeah, this was therapy for me, doing this, and to imagine that, you know, people have subscribed to my channel. It was just like, you know, I never thought that anybody would even watch anything that I did. It was just amazing when I got the first like couple of people who watched my videos. I was just like, oh my god. You know, and then one of my videos, I think 400 people so far have watched one of my videos, and I was just like, that is just crazy, absolutely crazy. And then I got a little message the other day from YouTube saying I got some subscribers and stuff, and I tell you, it really makes a difference to me. It makes a huge difference to me. And I thank every single one of you for subscribing. It's you really seriously made my day. As you can probably tell, I'm having a little bit of difficulty working out what to do with Rend and how to fit it in, you know, to the routine and stuff, and it's hello. Ow. I'm a little bit torn about them Vaal temples, by the way. I want to like them. I really do. I want to like them. But I find them, like, they're an awful lot of work for not a great deal of return on your investment. It's like abyssals are fantastic. You go down into that lightless abyss and, you know, you kill a load of stuff, come away with bags of swag, right? And, you know, everybody's happy. But that's not always the case with these, with the Vaal stuff. That falling thunder bangs, by the way. And yeah, I am purposely avoiding the big monkey in the middle that drops a house on your head.
Rayclast is adorned with scars of what once was.
Oh god, the amount of mobs in this place is crazy.
Another such device. Another words to life.
Yeah, how untypical of the Vaal. You gotta slaughter a bunch of stuff to get into their shit. Color me surprised. Today's ASMR is not coffee. Today's ASMR is cheeseburgers. While I was in the in that little dungeon, my wife brought in 2 sneaky little cheeseburgers, which was lovely of her. Cheeseburgers, brown sauce. I'm very lucky. I'm having a little bit of an experiment there. You can see it down there on my bar. Chayulas. I'm using Chayulas just to have a look. See, some people have recommended it. But like I said in the previous video, yeah, there's like so many different versions of this monk build. So many different versions. It's like
I wonder what this does.
difficult to know which one is best until you play them, and so you can compare and contrast. And you know, I've been looking at all sorts of different builds. Well, they're variations of the same build, basically.
That
This is
statue.
a find. A
How
foul ruin
ominous.
that hasn't been looted? No one from camp has managed to make it to this part of the jungle and survive. Until now. This mechanism, if powered with
Foul creature.
This mechanism, if powered with a small soul core, it could open that door. There should definitely be soul cores somewhere around here. They had to power these constructs somehow.
So I shall be on the lookout for a small soul core then. And as if by magic, there is one.
Look for a red crystal a bit.
I got it, love.
Near the end of civilization, the Val tried to combat a worsening labor shortage by sacrificing their own citizens to power constructs. Designed to till the fields, mine the quarries, and the like. They were quite a marvel. As it turns out, human souls don't make for a very sustainable fuel source. And so began their downward spiral.
Go figure.
Rather silly for such an intellectual people, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Be careful.
Yeah, that whole genocide thing. Yeah, silly. That's the word I would use. Yeah, silly. Well done, Alva.
Yes?
She reminds me of Hermione Granger. Yeah, I'll try and get an awful lot done in this episode. It might be a little bit of a longer one. But then I'm trying to put the whole game into 6 episodes, so some of them are going to be a bit longer than others. Although I still can't see it really going over 2 hours. Stick it on, help you sleep. That's what I would do. Stick it on at night, right, just as you're dropping off. Right, put it on, and let my dulcet tones hum you off to sleep. There you go.
74 shipments of soul cores in the span of 3 moons. 74 shipments, and it still won't be enough. If our fears become realized, we have put our lives on the line because Doriani asked us to do so. I accept this, and I am not a traitor to the Queen, but sometimes loyalty requires protecting her from her own mistakes. We need more time. We just need more time.
So I wonder what mistake he was talking about. Making Doriani the thaumaturge? Harvesting soul cores? When at the end of the day, there's no shortage of bloody mistakes.
You're mine!
the
should ask
largest
Alva
soul
about
core
this.
I've ever seen. With this, we could power the mechanism in the waterways. But it isn't charged. There is still latent energy residing here. From what I can gather, these lines in the stonework should lead to generators. You might need to find some more soul cores to spin them up, but everything looks to be in surprisingly decent condition. Maybe the constructs have been maintaining all this. In any case, let's hope it still functions. We'll then have to remove that large soul core from the wall, of course. But that shouldn't be a problem.
Oh, so you'll be doing it, will you, Alva? Yeah, this guy can hurt. He's got a bit of a dig on him. There's Blackjaw. Good chin as well. Try to use the pillars a little bit. But I've got all the hand-to-eye coordination of a cucumber, so that sounds better in theory than in practice. Oh, that last one was a bit of a crit.
The ire of a mortal man. How strange. I should ask Alva about this.
Found a way to power this up.
Yeah, I'm on it, Alva. I'm on it. Don't worry. I wouldn't want to disturb you just standing there looking at the wall like... I spy with my little eye something beginning with medium soul core.
This will make 5. Meet the 5 lit, the end draws.
I do know a way out. If we fail, and the Empire falls, I have one last resort. I fear it, but it is my last hope. We imprisoned Iklotil the Black Jaw in a soul core, alone for his crimes. Isolated like that, without any other souls in the lattice, his stone form seemed to retain much of his personality. Do I dare drain my own lifeblood into something we used as a punishment worse than death? We have toiled so long to defeat death. All I know now is fear. If the sky turns to blood, if flames consume Utsal, only then will I decide.
Bones!
Throwing grenades at people is rude. Just so you know. Did you not hear what I said? Where I come from, it's considered rude to throw grenades at people, particularly strangers.
Feel the shock!
I carry few possessions, and I don't have room for that.
Mighty fall!
Hello. Hello, big fella. He obviously didn't get the bloody memo.
That should be enough. I should ask Alva about this.
I doubt Alva will be much the wiser either.
Your fate is sealed.
She'll probably say something like, "Oh gosh, isn't it marvelous?"
Death comes you. Or in creation.
Oh dear. Now we just have to remove it from that giant construct. Good luck.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Well done, Alva. Like I said,
I have what I need.
that falling thunder bangs, man.
Let's hope this works.
Now, you're probably wondering, what the bloody hell are you doing back over here? Aren't you supposed to be in the waterways? Well, yes, but there's also my second trial over here. Ah, see? Second trial. Coming up. Told you we had a lot to do today.
I can't believe it. I finally found it. That lost temple.
Look at this place. There's mobs everywhere. Thousands of them. Look at that. It's bloody thousands of them. But they're everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. Not complaining. XP's great. Look at that. Look at the time. It's Tuxedo Cat's biggie time.
Another chance to test my mettle.
Death gems, blood crystals, or more. Some think the victor. There's no way to know that for certain. Servi has been a fantastic ally to us here. Her people have lived in the vicinity of Utsal for countless generations, so she's been able to show us all the most interesting Val ruins. The accessible ruins were all looted long ago, of course, but the lake around us has protected most of this city since the end of the Val Empire.
That's what it's all about. Whirliness.
A loyal but unwitting servant seeks answers. Who wins is barely a reputable streak.
Whirling assault.
Spirit protects them. Are you ready, challenger?
Have you noticed he starts off really nice and polite, and then the further you get through he starts getting ruder and ruder. Missed. Now bear in mind I've just got my whirly gig thing, so I know I'm probably not using it right, and I'm not. But it's just coming out for a run for the first time now, because I got it, and I thought, well, now I've got it, I might as well. I got a barrier. I got one of them barrier things from, oh god, was it that flying mouse thing? The poison mouse.
Don't get overconfident just because you beat the first room.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
You are more frail than you know.
Obviously before I've got hollow form. And my little minions.
This is just the beginning. Unrelenting and
Well, so the longer you're carrying that thing, the more damage you take. It's like you're carrying your own dot around of you. That's nice. So speed is of the essence. Ooh la la. It seems like it's got a bit of a slope on it as well. The longer you're carrying it, the more it hurts.
We are only getting started. Suffer the elements. I'd be wary of its breath if I were you.
3 heads, 1 tail, but no chance.
creature.
See, now why you gotta be like that? You look forward to my inevitable downfall. Why can't you just say congratulations, you've done a good job? Why? Why you gotta be like that?
Have I awaited a suitable challenger? My master, Chaos, has charged me with this task. Many have attempted my trials in search of greatness. Scholars, criminals, heroes, and the meek. All have stepped forward, and most have fallen. The rules never changed for them, and the rules will not change for you. Bring only that which you can afford to lose, including your life. My master is the essence of all that might be. They are the flip of a coin, and they are the roll of a die. Whether you win or lose, their purpose is still served. And yet, your chances can be influenced by your skill, by your intellect, and by your might. That is what fascinates Chaos. Skilled mortals can bend their chances, for in the headwinds of the unknown, the arrow of a master falls more assuredly than the arrow of a novice. Show them your mastery, and they will smile upon you. Surprise them with utmost talent, and they may even laugh. Fortune will rain upon those who bring humor to Chaos. This once mighty temple was the bridge from mere peasant to high priest. All were welcome to attempt the trials of Chaos, and those that attained a true victory were gifted a small measure of power to help forge their own destinies. That is still true, though we have far fewer challengers in this era. Until next time. A trial well completed. Approach the altar and...
My path is ever clearer.
There we go. Trial number 2 done. Thank you ever so much, everybody, for checking in. And hope it's been enjoyable. We've covered an awful lot of ground today. And guess what? We'll cover a lot of ground tomorrow. Take care, everybody.